Hey there, this is Broomba, and welcome to another episode of the Multi-Boxing Power Hour with Broomba. Today, in this little quick video tutorial, roughly anywhere from 20 minutes to 35, 40 minutes, maybe 50 minutes, who knows, depending on exactly how much I get covered and exactly what I want to cover in this next video. There are two topics I do want to cover that I use when I do multi-boxing, and I'll show you how that's done, setup-wise, configuration, and basically the ins and outs of making your multi-boxing experience not only worthy but fun and easy to set up. The two topics I will cover in this video will be macros, simple macros, sometimes cast sequence, not cast sequence, but sometimes cast spells, and macros about follow, focus, assist, invite, guild chat. If you want to type the words thank you or congrats or whatever you want to, you can make a macro for that. And so I'll basically show you some ins and outs. Also, I'll show you what I do when I have a healer in my group, and how that cast was done using macros and using Pwn Boxer on some level. The second part I want to show you is how I set up my bartender, the configuration thereof, and showing you from that perspective how I set my UI up and how easy it is and what settings I use. So it's going to be macros and bartender. Bartender is an add-on, and macros is actually built in the game of WoW. So those are the two things I will be covering today in this next video. Remember to follow me on Facebook, YouTube, twitch.tv/Broomba, and Twitter, and email me at thatbroomba@gmail.com. And catch my live stream on Sunday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, and we have a blast in my room, and viewership has gone up, and I do appreciate all the support and following and subscribers of my YouTube channel and my Twitch channel, so I do appreciate that. So without further ado, here is the guide to set up your macros and your bartender. See you online. Hey, and welcome to Multi-Boxing Power Hour with Broomba. I'm Broomba, and I'm here to take you on a little guided tour of setting up some macros and using bartender according to what I use and prefer when I multi-box in the game of WoW. I'm running 5 guys. I'm running a Prot Dwarf, Pally, and 4 Shaman Dwarves, 3 Elementals, and 1 Resto. My A, B, C, and D guy are going to my A, B, and C Shaman guy is going to be Resto. Elemento, and my last guy on my Shaman team is going to be Resto. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically show you how to do some macros. I have some macros already established and used for Pwn Boxer, the software that I use. Fortunately, right now you can't see. I do have actually some dockable, clickable map tools that Pwn Boxer actually makes. Pwn Boxer and multi-boxing very simple. What it does is it actually lets you not only create a macro and assign a keybind to it, but then it allows you, instead of, if you're not used to pushing buttons all the time to perform certain functions and whatnot, Pwn Boxer, the software itself has allowed to create these little drop-down little square boxes, and you can't see it on the screen, and I'm trying desperately to try to figure out exactly why it's not showing up. But yes, so I will show you how to do some macros. Basically, I'm going to do one on my Resto Shaman to heal my Pally. I do have one already established for Earth or Shield for the Pally, and I just simply went in and created a macro on that. I'm going to drag it's basically my Resto Pally is going to be kind of showing you some of the spell setup and the keybind and all that. Bartender, I use a bartender to do that, and then I use Pwn Boxer to broadcast across all the games, so that they can actually perform the functions or executions that are designed for them to do. I'm going to do macros first. And I think I actually have on my Resto Shaman a heal stream. Yes, we do have a healing wave. So all I want to do is actually, this is a good point to actually show this video. Oh, and one of my dwarves decided to sit down. So I'll just make him jump up. Yeah, running 5 WoW right now with XSplit running on this PC is very consuming of the CPU. That'd be one reason why, if I do decide to upgrade my computer in the future, that's going to be one reason why to do it. That's a different story. Another video, another time, another place, another possible future episode. Okay, so I want to invite my guys. Oh, by the way, here I can create a macro for that, or I can show you how that macro was created. I will go into my specific character macro here. Okay, this is only on your main guy. And simply I just created one called invite. I just went in here and said, okay, I'll type a new one in. Excuse me, and I just type invite. And then when it presses OK, this next line pops open. So you type /invite and your name of your characters. Your not your main guys, but your other characters within your group that's going to form your party. So in this case, they are WUTKA, XUTKA, YUTKA, and ZUKTA. And so what I do then is after I create the macro, it's set. I like what it's doing. I know what it's going to do. I then drag it, hold it down and drag it over here to one of the bartender bars. I usually set these two bars up like this, and they're on my A, B, C, D, and E guy. And so this is the way I usually do it. So for instance, I want to get these guys in the team, and I'll just simply click that once, and voila, we got a whole team form. One macro, one push of the button. Okay, that's simple. Also, macro for my other guys is assist, focus, and follow. Focus basically is for my B, C, D, and E guys, my other four guys, the guys on the screen. They'll focus, which I'll type in like /focus my name. Alright, simple. So B and C and D guy will actually have focus /focus in the space bar and then a name. I'll make sure there's a space in between there, right? And then I do is drag this on number 1, and I do this on number 1 on all the other characters in my party, my team. So on B, C, and D, they'll actually have number 1 being occupied like this as a focus, right? Piece of cake. Next is a follow focus. Follow is simply a command to tell your B, C, and D guys, or whoever, or how many you have in your group or party or potential group or party, to focus first of all you, the main guy, which is me here, and then you press number 2 because I signed it to number 2. I just simply type in /follow focus, not the name again, but focus, because you're trying to establish who the focus is. It's kind of like a variable. So focus equals the name, right? It's a math equation, except it's instead of focus equals a name. Well, they're doing Earth Shield. That's fine. A lightning shield. Instead of doing that, instead of equal, you actually just simply do name, right? Then you go into the follow macro and you type in follow focus, because now they know who they're going to follow, because you give them a variable, which is my name. Instead of typing my name again, you type in /follow focus. Then I drag number follow focus down here and put it in number 2 spot. And then when I push number 1 and 2, they will focus me, they will target me. And then once they got me targeted, I press number 2 and they follow me. And that's all there is to that. The third one I use for this team, or a team in general, whether it's 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, 5 tunes, or up to 10, whatever it is the assist key. It's simply ASSIST, and I can't spell, there we go, I can't still spell. IST focus. So instead of using assist space my name or the character's name or whoever it is name, you don't have to do that because you already established that with the focus command. Then you have to follow focus, and then you simply type in /assist focus, right? So once the characters in your party has focused you as who they're going to follow and assist, they're going to follow you when you press number 2. And when you press number 3, because I dragged this down to number 3 on the key binding bar, not a problem. All my guys have this set up like this. Then I push number 3, and whenever I target my A guy, B, C, and D guy will focus and assist. If it's a kill quest or the turn-in quest, they will do exactly that. For instance, here, I'm focusing this guy here, and I want to say thank you for Vol, the patient. Order of Chaos, for actually being my assistant here today. So I'm focusing on Vol the patient. Now notice only A is focusing on it. So he's going to take a little seat there, and that's fine. He's probably going to go away, and he's probably going to be logged off. Anyway, little does he know he's actually famous on my video. So shout out to Vol, the patient from Order of Chaos on Storm Rage PvE US server. So I didn't type focus, all right? Follow. You don't have to do follow, but I always do. And then assist. Now, they all have focused me, and now they're going to assist in who I'm focusing, or who I'm targeting, which is Vol. So now if I want to heal these guys, or actually I can, with my shamans, I will simply push my minus key on the keyboard. It's down here. I push it, and they're going to heal him. And bam, bam, bam. See? We'll do it again. I'll target him. See his... Yeah, he's getting a free heal today. So I expect my $100 pieces of gold. Thank you. I expect my 100 pieces of gold in the mail for you being my assistant. In fact, I want to say thank you. Thanks for being my assistant during my video. Yes, he doesn't know that actually is being recorded, and you are going to be famous. Little sidetrack here. So this is a little interesting side note, and this is what my videos want to be. Yes, I can be professional, and sometimes I can actually be a little humorous and whatnot. So we'll see what he says. You're going to be famous on my YouTube channel in a bit, because he says you're my videos. So anyway, so that's how you do the focus and assist. Now, if it's an NPC you have to kill, then I will do focus and assist, and whatever my A guy is focusing, he will either heal. In this case, he healed the guy. Who is he? He's a human pally. Okay, cool. So he's probably I don't know. He's probably a prod or heal, or it looks like a heal. Looks like a holy. Let's check his specs real quick. I'll enter him anyway. So if he's a bad guy, if he's a horde or an NPC you have to kill or whatnot, then I will simply assist and then hit the 4 key, 5 key, or 60, depending on what key I want to perform the execution, whether it's my shaman or my pally. So that's how I do my focus, follow, and assist. And you got my invite and all that. Now I'm going to take it over and show you how I'm going to set my heal spell up for my priest. In fact, I'm going to do this for all my shamans, so you can actually see how this is minutely done. I'm going to tell them just a sec. I'll tell them in a minute. So I want to bring over my... Yes, I have 2 poem boxers loaded. That's not good. So I'm going to bring over my poem boxer, and I'm going to bring over my 5 box, and I'm going to move over to the monitor 2, which is over here. Now I'm going to move this over here to monitor 1. Now here's my little guy. Here's my healing. Okay, I'm gonna blow this up just a tad, and I'm using 2 monitors to do this. So I want to create a macro to heal my pally and my shamans. So I want to pause Poem Boxer so I don't have to broadcast across the entire spectrum of my characters. So I'll go in the macro. This is good. I'm actually happy that I'm actually doing this. And there's my focus, as you can see, that guy there. And I want to do a new spell. Okay, I didn't want to know about that. Let's do heal. Pally. Okay, and then I'm going to go in here. Now his spell is Healing Wave. So I will go, okay, I don't have to worry about the icon. When you type your cast spell with the spell name in your macro, it will automatically put the right macro in, because it's going to use this spell here. And if I use like Earth Shield, as you can see here, I didn't have to type Earth Shield in. I mean, I had to actually go and hunt down the icon of the macro. I just typed in simply Earth Shield, and voila, it actually did it for me. All right. So I want to do, and you'll see this. Now I'm going to do Heal Pally. Okay. Now I'm going to go in here. It's kind of slow today. Pardon this. It appears to be slow. Now I'm going to go cast box, the bracket box, not that bracket, that bracket, and then I say target equals, and then my pally, VUTKA, close the bracket off, space, healing wave. Okay, now I will bring this over here and drop this there, and click there. There it is. See? Automatically. Alright, then I will go in here and do a macro number 2. Now, you can either type this entire thing out again, right, which I've done, which is very time consuming in itself, or I can just simply put my cursor in there, hit Control A, it highlights it off, hit Control C, it copies it, click New, and then I do heal my other shamans. So we're going to do VU. Who's my other one? I got to make sure I get the team right, because you have to make sure you get the right name of the team. So you have a Y, X, Z, and W. So TUV. Let's do the V first. We did that. W. So we're going to do this. Heal W. WUTKA. Okay? And then we're going to go Control V, paste it inside the thing. Now, notice this is the entire macro that I used on my healing pally. I just have to go in here and basically change one letter. WUTKA, right? And then I bring this down here and set it underneath there and click New. Voila. Alright? Once again, same thing again. Heal TUVWX XUTKA. Okay, click that. Put it in the box. Put your cursor in this box here. That's where your macros are created. Control V for pasted, and this will be X. All right. Drag this down here. Oops, man, got a little too fancy there with the drag and drop. Right there. Okay, and click New. Once again, WUTKA and X. Okay, and then I go in here and type in heal. In the last pally, YUTKA. All right, and then I put Control V inside the command macro bar, and I will go back over here and put a Y in there. And then I would drag and drop this down here, and voila, I will exit now. I don't need any more macros, okay? So, I've got all the healing done. Now, on my guy, I actually have him on the minus key, so I can push the minus key. And of course, all my guys can heal themselves with that key, except for my pally. He has a different, I do his differently, right? Or I can automatically set him to heal, or I can actually set, macro for my healer to heal himself. So instead of having to have everybody in the fight get healed, leaving my pally vulnerable to being dead or killed or damaged more, I'm going to go ahead and make another macro for my main resto here. So he's going to have one called heal self, or actually, no, let's do ZUKTA. I believe that's right. I messed up on his name earlier when I did this team. ZUK. Okay, so I will go down here and type in that, and then same thing. And this is a simple cast spell. And I will put ZU, and I'm going to take those letters out. ZUKTA. Okay, and then I'm going to drag and drop this over here, and that's that. Now, here's what the easy part is. I'm going to bartender, which I'll show you in a minute how it's done. I will do that. Click binding, key bindings, right? I will then go over here and I will assign these specific things. This is Control W, Control E, Control R. This is Control Q. So we got Q, W, E, R. So we're going to do Control T. We're going to do Control Y. I highlight it so I can actually record the key binding. I hold down Control U, Control I, and Control O. Okay, then I click OK. Simple. Now I go back into PwnBoxer, right? I do dockable clickable map here. I guess I can add a third row. Yeah, I can add a third row. I'll show you how that's done. I only need how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need 5 rows. So there's 3, 4, 5. Now I'll do heal Pally, or actually, you know what? I'll just do Pally, and then that one's letter Control RT. That's Control T. So in PwnBoxer, I will do Control T. All right, and then I do TUX. Wait, S. I gotta get this. I gotta get the letter right. Oh my! It's not in the correct alphabetical order. I mean, it is, but my team is not displayed in that manner. So TUVW. So it'd be WUTKA, and then that's Control Y. WX XUTKA. That'd be Control YU, right? Scroll down, get the last two in here. That'll be YUTKA, Control I, and then finally ZUKTA, Control O. Click OK, click OK. Now I'm going to move this back over to this. I'm going to move this back over here to game 1. I'm going to shrink this back down to its original size. So I've got the macro already created, and let it readjust here, and there we almost there. There we go. Now here is let me move this over on the side here. Okay, here is the key binding clickable dockable things that I created in PwnBoxer. Right, here's my Pally. This is all from my Resto Shaman healing himself and others. And so instead of pressing the minus key, I can just simply press this key, and my Shaman Resto will heal himself, the main Pally, and Shaman B, C, and D. Right. So I want to find a good spot of this. Where's a good spot? That might be, let's see, maybe over here. Let's do over here. Okay, then I go back into PwnBoxer. It's already over here. Let me drag this slowly across the screen because it is acting very slow today. And then I will go back in here and I will say lock these boxes, right? And then that will actually cement it in, so I cannot move these boxes. Once it's locked, it cannot move. However, I can minimize it, right? So it's no problem. Finally, I will do this. This is very important for PwnBoxer users. This is what I recommend for PwnBoxer users. Is when you get your team created and you use PwnBoxer, save it. So here's the save feature. Go to File, Save As. Make sure you create the profile down here, which I did last night, and then click Save. It'll ask you, do you want to override it, replace it? Yes. Why? Because now it's got new added keybinds and some things of that caliber. So I unpause PwnBoxer, right? I will then click the Pally, and there's my Pally being healed by my Shaman. And there is this little delayed. I apologize. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to separate my guys on the game so you can actually see what's going on when my healer Shaman is healing the party or team. Alright, so my healer is back here in the Z. That's my healer. Now he's going to heal my Pally again. Go ahead and heal him. Okay, see that little click there? Okay, so I want to go and heal the W guy. I got him highlighted here, and you'll notice the heal come off in a minute. There it is. Presto. Okay, I want to heal the Y guy. Bingo. I want to heal the X guy. Bingo. And finally, I want to heal himself. Bingo. Now, if I want to heal all my guys at the same time, I would hit the minus key, which is down here, and they all will actually cast the heal spell on themselves. Boom, boom, boom. Right? Piece of cake. That is a simple cast spell from a cast person, whether it's a heal spell or a DPS spell or whatnot spell, or a buff. It could be a buff. I do have a buff set, and it's my my equal sign, and that is the lightning shield. So I'm going to push the lightning shield one time, and there they go. Now my pally doesn't have that, but he has his own special thing, and I can do the righteous seal of righteousness. Alright, so there's some simple basic macros for invite your team to cast your healer, to cast a heal spell on your team and whatnot. Those are just some basic simple guidelines of how to do macros and multi-boxing. There are cast sequence spells I'm not very strong or very it's still foreign to me. A lot of people on the multiboxing.com forums actually have listed. You have to search it, but once you register for it, you can search for cast sequence spells. Or you can go to Google search and type in cast sequence spells and WoWs, and you can get a whole host of different ones for different classes and specs and races and all that. So that's simple and enough. Now, the final thing I want to do is the bartending one. Alright, bartending is an add-on. And all you do down here is bartender is these bars at the bottom, which are the WoW UI normal mode, and the ones on the side. Now, keep in mind, I actually use the same setup. Bartender to me, for my A, B, C, D, E guy, whatever how many I use, is going to be the same. It's 2 bars at the bottom. This is the way I like it. Very simple. And then the bag bar, and then the macro bar. Back bar sits on top of the macro bar. Now, some people actually have this shrinked up and whatnot. This is the way I have mine set up, and this is the way my bartender's set up. Right? I have 2 on the side here, and of course they're all like this on all my A, B, C, D, E guys, or how many I use. I assign a food and mana, because they both of them use mana and food. Both pallies and shamans. So when I buy food at level 15, I will actually drop. I don't know if I have a food item in here. No, I don't. But if I had a food item in my bag, I would actually drop and drag it, the food item in the multiplication sign, and the other one in the kind of the minus sign on the keyboard in the numpad section. On the tune A, I will assign him as numpad 1, numpad 2, team member 2. I will do him numpad 3, numpad 4. On team member 2, 3, 4, he'll be 5 and 6 numpad, and the final one will be numpad 7, numpad 8. So if A needs to be fed and the other guys don't, I just simply push them or mana. I just push them the right keys that pertain to that character. If all of my guys need food and mana after they died, you need to resurrect and you need to heal yourself and man yourself up, I will simply go down the numpad line and put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 my keys, and they will all sit down and eat and drink at the same time. If there's only 1 toon or 2 toons who need food and mana because they died and the other ones did not, I will push the appropriate numpad keys that relate back to that specific character. So not everyone's going to eat. Only the ones that I press the button on will eat and drink their mana and get ready to go on and fight the fight. Bartender, really simple. Like I said, I only use 4 major bars. I use bar 1, bar 2, bar 3, bar 4. And all my bars actually, at least the first 4 bars, actually are the same as in the padding, which means how wide, or actually how large, or how small they are. And I usually go on 0. Let me do this. Here's number 1. And 1 and 2 are basically 0 rows. 3 and 4, real quick, are basically 12 rows. So I'm using the entirety of all the potential bartender functions in this one bar. And instead of horizontal, it's now vertical, and that's with the row column. And then on padding, as you can see on bar number 3, which is right here, the one with the invite. Notice when I push padding to the greatness, how it expands and makes it appear larger. I don't like that. It goes up to 20. Or I go back to -10, and look how small it gets. I don't like that. I like to have it around 0. Alright? I don't know, it just looks nicer 0. Same thing with 1 and 2. They're both horizontal, but they also perform the same function. There's number 2 seeping over to the back bar, and that's as far as it can go, 20 level, or plus 20. This is -10. This is how wide it gets and shrinks. I said it's 0. Scale, this is how big the actual bars become. Really huge if you're a serious raider, or very small if you have some very magnifying glasses where you can actually read small print. I set mine to 0.8 on all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Then button grid. Notice if there's a specific key in that button and I push button grid, it'll actually appear. If there's no button or assigned macro or anything in that space, I push button grid, it's gone. It's like a vacant dead air. So you can see that there's some gap in between the keys here. Button grid, they're all back. Same thing with 1. You highlight number 1, push button, and the ones that have nothing in the bar actually are gone, disappeared. Push it again, and now they're back. And that's how I set my bartender up. Padding, scale, button grid, and rows for those I want to have either vertical, or you can actually make them kind of in those squares. You do the squares by let me think. I forgot how to do squares. Bag bar, I leave this unchecked on one bag, meaning it's going to show all the bags. If I do that, it's going to show basically that. I like to see what bags I have. So if, in other words, I have an 8 slot, a 6, and a 6. Now, if my bags were this way, I wouldn't even know what slot my bags are, right? So I uncheck that, and now I can see, oh, I've got an 8 and a 6 and a 6. Well, I'm going to buy a 12, a 12, a 12, or a 14, 14, 14. So then I know it's time to upgrade a bag. Extra action bar, I disable that. Macro menu, the macro bar, the game bar, which is just down here. I usually set it the same thing too. Scale 8.8. 1 on the rows. Padding is a little big. I don't know why. We'll move that. We're going to move that back to 0. My bag bar actually might be a little off. Yeah, padding should be 0 too. Yeah, but now, okay. So anyway, because it has a lot of more extra bars in the macro or the macro one. Yeah, it should be the same. Oh, you know why? The bag bar actually, well, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter. I usually tend to leave kind of those alone. Pet bar, you can enable or disable depending if you have a pet or not. Since I don't have a pet, I'll disable it. Stance bar, you do need it, especially for the pally. Vehicle bar, no, you don't really need that. Reputation bar, no, because I have a reputation bar up here. It's my add-on, which I'll cover probably next week. So if I enable it, then this little bar, this is actually the Wild Blizzard original UI. I mean, I like it, but I prefer the add-on for the XP bar that I have. So it shows you rep, and you scroll over it, and I'll talk about this a little later. I'm almost actually hell, I'm almost honored. That's nice. Blizzard art bar disabled. XP bar disabled. Profiles. When you start a new team, your UI is going to be basically looking like nothing. I mean, it's going to have maybe one bar, and it's got the Blizzard graphic bar on the side. You know, I don't like the. Excuse me. I don't like the Blizzard UI. I did when I first started, but when I started with messing with add-ons, one of them was Bartender. So what I do is when I start a new team, on all my characters in that team, whether it's 2, 3, 4, 5, I go to Profiles and I reset it. Now, I'm not going to do it this time, but when I reset it, all these bars, its original set, all the bars in it's now presently will actually basically be excuse me, will basically be jumbled up right here in the middle of the screen. And then that's when basically I go through and do each individual bar, its specifications, configurations, and its location. Once I got that, once I've gone through everything from bar 1 to 4 in this case, or 1 to 6 if you prefer more bars, or whatever it is, then you go back down here in profiles, you got everything set up. I then go in and type a name. So in other words, I would type in the main guy of this character. Same thing with character 2, character 3, character 4, right? Type the name in, a little OK bar will pop up and you say OK. It will then save it, but then it will throw you back into the original UI of Blizzard when you first logged in for the first time. What you then do is you go through here. In fact, here, I'll show you real quick. Here's how the Blizzard really looks like. Now, these are going to be off. These are going to be not there. But this right here is your typical UI Blizzard startup, right? Ignore these bars and ignore these bars over here. So this is what it looks like originally. Now, I went in and pushed reset profile. All this bars, all these setup was basically in the middle of the screen. When you save it, it goes back to that. Now, the final thing is key binding. I use key binding when I need to on specific things, mainly my Hearthstone, mainly my mount, and mainly a food or mana, and also the spells, which you kind of saw that when I did my Resto Shaman. You can kind of go back into that portion of the video. You can rewind it whenever you want to and look at that video really quickly over again to see exactly how I did it, which is key binding. And then you scroll over it and look at that numpad positive sign or numpad asterisk sign is associated with that one. If I want to remove that one, I will hit escape key. It will clear it, and then I can put a key or press a button on the mouse or the keyboard, and it will assign that variable to that specific key. Same thing with my A, B, and C and D guys. Right, and then you go down here and you just go down here and you just assign letters or numbers or symbols or whatever it is, and then you know, you can go from there. You use Pwnboxer to broadcast it across the whole board like this, because Pally, this healer in the back, the Zutka, is the healer. So I set his healing macros up, which is over here on his bar, but kind of in this area. And then I gave him a letter, like Control Q or Control W or whatever it is. And then I went into Pwnboxer and set that up like that. For instance, my hotkey for my Hearthstone, which is all guys have this set up, is the numpad delete key, or the numpad period key. My mount keys, whether it's flying or riding, is F11 and F12. To me, it's easier. I just have to press one button when I'm not in combat, and pretty much all my members of my team, once they're invited and all that, actually will perform the demount or dismount or changing of the mount. Right? So, yeah. Those are some key, interesting key shortcuts to creating up your UI. So when you multi-box, when you multi-box, actually this becomes really not only easy to do, but less frustrating. This whole process with 5 guys, this took me no more than 12-13 minutes setting this up. I set this up Monday morning about 12:31 o'clock, and or maybe a little earlier, maybe 11:30, 12. So sometimes it was right before midnight-ish, and it took me no more than 15 minutes to set all my 5 guys up this way in its specific locations and the hotkeys and the macros and all that. And then that's probably the most time-consuming part of setting up a new team, whether it's 2 characters or 5 or 10, is the actual setup. And then when you get cast characters in your group, whether it's healing or DPS, then you're going to have to kind of, I guess, trial and error to get exactly what you want produced. However, once you've established a base for your macros, whether it's healing or DPS or whatnot, and the more you expose yourself to that easiness, that that functionality within not only WoW but Pwnboxer and bartending, really this becomes basically a less than 10-second job. The only thing you have to do is make sure that you assign a key that you do not forget or do not repeat. So that's why I pretty much start at the Q of the alphabet of the keyboard and work my way across the keyboard down to the bottom row, using first the key, and then if I need to I use the shift, and if I need to use that as the alt. It's very seldom I go past the control, but it is quite common I actually use at least the first 2 rows, and sometimes actually use the 3rd row. Alright, so that is my little brief tutorial on using Bartender and with conjunction with Pwnboxer and macros. It's a little brief tutorial, and like I said, watch this video again and again and again. If you need to replay something that you might have forgotten or lost or didn't hear or need to revisit, that's why I put these on YouTube, for you guys to understand how to multi-box and do it in a way that is easy, fast, and fun, because that's what multi-boxing is in WoW. It's fun. Some people have a different perception of that. Some people are, pardon my French, a-hoes. They feel like multi-boxing is cheating. No, it's not. So that's another story another time. That's how I set mine up. That's how I execute my plans, my macros, my bartending. Like I said, watch this video again and again and again if you need to revisit it as you set up your macros, your team, and your bartending and your add-ons. Alright? So that's it. This will go up pretty soon, and I'll be working on my 2nd show, Straight to the Point with Broomba, probably Friday or sometime Saturday, probably Friday. And I will give you an update on what's going on. So until next time, thank you very much for watching this video. Please remember to follow me, subscribe to me, like me on my Facebook page, and follow me on Twitter and twitch.tv/Broomba. Email me at thebroomba@gmail.com, and of course always at youtube.com/thebroomba. And there's where you can find all my videos and Broomba's Corner, my new renamed show. Basically it's a video blog, but I changed it up to Broomba's Corner. And so yeah. And I'm going to go compile this and upload this to YouTube and stream some more this afternoon. So if you follow and like this and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch, then you'll know exactly when I stream, because I will announce exactly when I'm streaming via Twitter and Facebook. Alright? Thanks for following, and thank you for the support, and I look forward to entertain and educate a lot of people who want to play multi-boxing or try it out, or who might be interested in trying it out in the future. So next time, I see you online.